I'm not going to be here long. I just have to tell you this crazy little story. Let me turn the television off. So, I have a friend who called me today who asked me if I was outside. And I was like, no, I'm at work. And she was like, nah, outside, as in the weather's getting nice. Are you outside? Yeah, I said I was going to start hanging out, socializing, being strategic as soon as the weather starts getting warmer, and it's getting warmer, and I'm still inside. I had a friend that called this afternoon when I got home from work, and she told me tales from the outside. She will remain nameless. Basically, she has a friend. They've been friends for a while. He wanted to hang out. She was like, all right, let's do it. This is not a date. This is some chill vibes. We're just going to go and have a good time. It was like dinner and a movie. There was a little conflict about which movie theater because she wanted to go to a more upscale movie theater that offered like a broader option of food and libations. And he wanted to go to the theater that was at the mall. So the movie theater at the mall won. But the best part was on the way to the movie theater, there was a little bit of some extra time, and he was trying to figure out how to utilize it and was like, I think I got some money left on my DMB card, aka Dave and Buster's. They didn't go, thank goodness. Instead, they headed to the movie theater, and on the way, he was like, so are you a popcorn girl? You gonna want some popcorn? She was like, nah, because we just finished eating. He was like, do you mind if I go get some snacks from the Dollar Tree? Now, thankfully, they never made it to the Dollar Tree, but I wish he had decided against asking for the kid size popcorn off of the menu option at the theater. And then had the nerve to ask if he can get a free upgrade. I'm just laughing because she was like, what's he gonna upgrade to? The adult size? Why would you ask, can you upgrade the kids' popcorn? Did I mention that he's in his 40s and has a job? But y'all want me to go outside? How do you avoid someone like that? You don't know which chocolate you're gonna get. Lord Jesus. So that story wasn't very encouraging. My man, he needed to know who his audience was. She and I, we spoke a little bit about kind of like knowing the audience and then also being a little particular, right? So it's like when someone is pursuing another, you need to know the audience, right? When you're trying to execute a meeting, you need to know who you're talking to. You have to like know the things, know the culture, know the things that they're interested in. You got to know the audience. You know what I'm saying? You just don't go out there and shoot your shot. That's kind of crazy. With no strategy, we just out here. Wow. So the other thing is like on the flip side, you also got to make sure that you're not making time to waste time. You know what I'm saying? You just can't go outside every time somebody offers an invite. We're not doing that. So that's what I told her. I was like, you need to be more picky. Like, it can't just be like, hey, let's do this. And you're like, yeah, I'm available. I'm not. And I'm not even going to fault her because back in the day, I was kind of like that too. Like somebody would offer me an outing and I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing to do and I'll go outside. And meanwhile, I would be outside and I'm like, I'm over here dressed up. I'm not enjoying myself with you. This is not enjoyable. Why am I doing this? Just to be outside? I can be outside by myself. I remember there was a time there was a gentleman that was interested in me. And listen, he will remain nameless. Sir, this is not a slight. I'm just telling my story, okay? He would want to go out every other weekend. He said that. He was like, we need to make sure we're hanging out every other weekend. And I kind of felt like that was a little bit like an obligation, and I wasn't with it. I was just like, I don't want to do that. Like, why can't we just see how things go? If we want to hang out, we'll hang out. And like clockwork, every other weekend, he was coordinating time so that we can hang out. If he was taking me out to dinner and he told me which restaurant he was choosing, he would tell me, this is the restaurant that we're going to, but I'm trying to buy a house, so don't go crazy. First of all, I'm never the chick that's gonna have like the drink, the appetizer, the entree, the dessert, and the carry bag home. Like that's never gonna be me. So I'm not even trying to get in your pockets like that. Secondly, I can afford my own meals and then some. Thirdly, and last, even eat like that. Why are you talking to me like this? How about you don't go out? How about you save the whole bag and don't invite me outside? It's like he didn't know his audience. Because I was never going to waste you for some dinner. Like, come on, that's just crazy. So I'm like, okay, well, if you don't go outside and meet somebody, then you can always online dating. And then it reminds me of another friend. She will remain nameless, who was dating online. I don't want to say dating, I guess getting to know people online, but for the purpose of dating. So she met a gentleman, which by the time I heard this story, we were like 4, 5, 6 weeks into this thing. So met someone online. They were conversing. They, spoke on the phone a few times and decided that they were trying to meet. He was a little bit of ways from her. I want to say it was like an hour and a half drive. And I'm not certain how it came to the conclusion that she was going to take the ride, but she was going to drive out to go and meet him, and they were trying to decide on a place. So the place never got confirmed. And eventually she was just like, where are we going to meet? And he was like, well, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm kind of upon hard times right now, and I don't really have a place for you to meet me because right now I'm unhoused. I found myself like without a job. I was living in my car. They repossessed it, and now I'm staying in the park. That's not a lie. I might have paraphrased the conversation, but bro was living in the park, okay? When she told me I died, 1,000 deaths. What? I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, the entire time you was talking to bro, you didn't hear like the bus in the background, the birds chirping, the kids on the swings, the winds blowing, the crickets cricketing. You didn't hear none of that? How? That's my fear with online dating. You don't know who's on the other side. With all these scammers, oh my gosh. Meanwhile, how is bro affording the phone bill? Sometimes I see unhoused people in the streets of New York City and they be charging their phones on some of those posts. How are you paying for the bill? I should be asking who they talking to. Oh, Lord Jesus. Just don't be dialing my number. Okay. But, for real, everybody needs love. But know your audience. That's all I'm saying. Know your audience. Know your audience. I would love a little thrill in my life. I even have another friend, she will remain nameless. We recently talked about just knowing like someone that you consider is considering you. Wouldn't that just be lovely? Like yesterday I had gotten, I don't want to say good news, because it wasn't like I got good news. It's just like there was a sequence of events that happened for me that was favorable. And it was like exhilarating. I was so elated. And then I told myself to calm down. I was like, don't get too excited. Calm down. Nothing has happened yet. This is just, the events leading to, like, calm down. You got it. When I considered it later on in the daytime, I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to have like this unplanned, spontaneous, just spark. All right, I need to make plans for the weekend. I'm trying to think if there's anything encouraging that I can say. Single ladies, what are we doing this summer? What's the plan? Where are y'all going? Clue me in. Spring is springing and summer will be upon us before you know it, because this time is flying. I cannot believe we're about to be in May. Time is going by so fast, and if I don't seize the moment, oh man, I'm just going to lose out. We outside. We keep saying we're going to be outside. Share your location so I can be there too. Help me. So I got a few days to plan an outing. It's just the idea, the exhaustion. But I need to start putting it in my mind now, because the weekend's going to be upon me any day now, and I'm going to be sitting here frowning like, I should have made plans. Don't let that be you. All right, I got to go. Bye.